This week in NinteNDomain, we're back and we're going to talk about Mario plus Rabbids, the Nindies Direct, and I have a theory about Travis Touchdown's new game.
Hey, be quiet. I'm trying to watch my stories. It's about golf.
Welcome to NinteNDomain, episode 86. We are your hosts. I'm Trey, Noxious Fireweed Johnson.
And I'm Jereme Dyno-Warz Mikowski. Still Dyno-Warz Mikowski.
Yeah, not Jeremy Launch Punch Mikowski.
Launch fucking fist.
Launch fist, yeah, that's your favorite weapon. So yeah, I was gone last week on vacation, so you get to hear that special episode that came from some sort of time warp of some time. Anyway, we're back. A lot of stuff happened while we were gone. Curse of the podcast, but there was an Nindies Direct, and I got that new Rabbids game, so we're going to talk about both of those. But first off, why don't we get into the news? Actually, you know what? Let's talk about our purchases for the week. It's been like 2 weeks, so I'm sure we bought a whole bunch of shit. So lay it on me. What did you get?
I don't remember if I mentioned my Sega games that I had purchased last time. I think I bought them since then. I bought a Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh, you got another one? Because I knew you were talking about the next generation one that you got.
Oh, I bought the other Star Trek game.
Okay. Is it any better or is it the same?
It's a side-scroller. I got Light Crusader, which is a pretty cool little like action RPG that I'm liking so far.
Okay, but
Battletech, which is hard as fuck.
But Light Crusader, that doesn't have anything to do with Shining Force or Shining in the Darkness, right? Like any of those turn-based strategy games?
As far as I know, it's its own thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of an isometric action adventure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's weird that like so many of those involve like light and shining and darkness and all that stuff. There's like 3 different games that are all, like I said, there's the Shining Force games, there's a game called Shining in the Darkness, and there's Light Crusader also. So I guess they're all about this dichotomy from light and dark.
This game, you're definitely a crusader fighting for light.
Crusading for the light, yeah. I take it you haven't played it much. Cause
I haven't.
That sounds like a pretty much a guest answer on what that game is.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. I played about 5 minutes tops. Yeah, I've been distracted by all the other games I've been playing. I've got a lot of them, but yeah, as far as I think that's all the new purchases I've made. I don't know if I think of more later. I'll mention them, but I think I mentioned I got the Game Boy camera already last week.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
Well, after we recorded 2 weeks ago, I jumped on the eShop and bought some stuff. I bought that SNK game, Puzzled. That game's cool. It's like a really weird Tetris game. It like reminds me of like Bombliss or the Tetris 2 stuff that you played. It kind of reminds me of that. It's like a weird sequel to Tetris that came out on SNK instead of another system.
So it's like the blocks look kind of the same, but they behave differently.
No, they're the same, and they behave in the same way. They fall from the sky. You rotate them. They're all the same shapes. It's kind of like there's like a structure of them, and you put them in a straight line and they disappear just like regular Tetris. But there's like a thing. There's basically a thing at the bottom of the structure, and you need to clear so many lines to where that thing can get out. It's like a little balloon, and you clear it enough to release the balloon, and then you go to the next level. It's basically the way it works.
Oh, okay.
I haven't played any of the 2-player, so I don't know how that works. But I just played the regular arcade mode, and it's really good. Like, I liked it. I played it for a while. I played into like, I don't know, must have been like 15, 16 levels into it, something like that. But I thought it was really cool it was like, it looked so much like Tetris that I was just like, oh, I should just get this and check it out. But yeah, it ended up being a really neat, like, it's almost like a forgotten Tetris sequel that nobody saw, or nobody knew about. Or it could have been like included in Tetris DS, somebody could have stuck that in there and, you could it would totally fit in there if it did. It's kind of like that, I guess it reminds me a little bit like that Push game that was on there that was on Tetris DS. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's definitely worth checking out. I'd like to see how the 2-player works on it, but I haven't gotten to play that. And as far as I know, there isn't a single-player, 2-player thing. But you get 2 different characters to pick. You get the girl and the guy, and I've only played as the girl, so I don't know if it's different if you pick the guy. So I haven't tried that out. But I also got Forma 8, which is an indie game that came out 2 weeks ago.
Sounds like a racing game.
It's not. It's not at all. It's basically you're like a little robot head that floats around, and it's like a Metroidvania type game like that. It's like a floaty Metroid because you don't jump, you just float. But I was really enjoying the game until I ran into a game-breaking glitch, which I don't know. I seem to be the only one that's run into this. Like, I've tried to do some research. Anyway, I got to the first boss, and none of my weapons hurt the boss. And I looked online I was like, oh, well, I must not know how to beat the boss. And I looked online, and my weapons should hurt the boss, but they don't. So I don't know. So I basically ran into a wall there, which sucks because I was having a lot of fun with the game, and I can't progress.
Did you try to start a new save file?
Yeah, I'm far though. I didn't want to get all the way back.
You said it was the first boss.
It is the first boss, but it takes a minute to get to him. It's not like at the beginning of the game. Like you have to go through. I mean, it's like a fairly slow game, and I didn't want to start all over from the beginning. But I tried resetting. I mean, I tried like closing out of the game and coming back in and trying it again. It still wouldn't do it. But I posted it on Twitter like just now. And I actually posted Twitter pictures of it before, and I got likes from the actual company that made it, which is pretty cool. Where they're like paper bag, something like that. Mixed bag is what they're called. Anyway, they like my posts that I made about it. So if I post one about the game being broken, maybe they'll comment on it or something.
Or they'll block you.
Yeah, or they'll block me. I mean, I like the game a lot. Like, I want to play more of it, but I can't. Because I can't progress through this boss. Like, you get these bombs, and I shoot the bombs at the guy, and it doesn't do anything. And I looked online, and that's how people beat it. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. But it's a cool game. It's really pretty. It's like your basic indie game. It has like a really, really cool soundtrack, like super moody soundtrack. It's like big levels, it's like really pretty. And you're like this little robot head with two eyes, and you just kind of float around. But you get different things that unlocks different parts, and it's very Metroidvania and all that. Or Metvania, as I like to call it. But it's a cool game.
It's Castleroid.
Castleroid sounds like a bad disease.
It does. It sounds like something you have to buy a topical cream to treat.
For your Castleroids. Ugh. Yeah, it's like you got Castleroids in your butt. I also got that League of Evil game that came out last week. League of Evil. It was actually a cell phone game that I bought and played on my cell phone. It's basically like Super Meat Boy before Super Meat Boy. It's like a bunch of like really difficult 2D levels involving like spinning blades and stuff like that. I always liked the game, but I didn't like playing it on a cell phone, so I just wanted to play it with a controller. Because I thought like the control was as tight as you could get with a touchscreen, but it really deserved an actual controller. And it's only, all these games were like $8 that I got. So I just kind of went for it because I remembered playing it and enjoying it. And I was like, I'll play it. So
you're still delaying sending your Switch in.
I have not sent my Switch in, no. Well, I went on vacation and I wanted to play Mario plus Rabbids, which I did. I did play a lot of that, which we'll talk about. That'll be our topic of the show. We'll talk about that in the second half. But yeah, no, I haven't sent it in yet. And I'm trying to figure out like when I should send it in because I want to play through all of Rabbids before I send it in because I'm afraid that if it's gone for a while, when I get it back, I'll forget everything that I was doing, when you like stop playing a game for a while and you try to come back and you don't know where you're at and all that. And I'm really enjoying Mario plus Rabbids, so I don't want to take a break from it. So I'm trying to figure that out. Like maybe if I can, because I heard it's like on the short side, so maybe I can make it through and then send it away. I don't know.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It still doesn't work. Like and I kind of, I might have dropped it, so now the left Joy-Con's a little weird. It won't stick now. Also, speaking of things that died, my NES. Straight up NES died as well this week. There's a whole lot of death. There's a whole lot of death going on. My NES died. Miiverse is dying. Everything's dying.
Oh shit, Miiverse is dying, isn't it?
Yeah, that's part of. That's part of our news, but we might as well talk about it. Yeah, Miiverse is going to end like November, right? Or is it ending before that? It's a shame. Like we have to pour out our drinks for the Miiverse.
I might want to go back and capture some of those posts. They were pretty formative parts of my life.
You had some pretty good posts about like noodles and stuff. Then you draw a picture of life noodles from Earthbound.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, I drew a picture of a squid with like ink around its mouth that says like I live, I die, I live again. I thought that was cool. That was my one picture I drew. But I took pictures of different Dragon Quest stuff and like Xenoblade and Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. So it'll be missed. I wonder why. I mean, it must not take much to keep it going, right? Like, do you think it's really like costing them a lot to keep the Miiverse going?
It just makes me think even more. Yeah, they're gearing up for the real online shit for the Switch, and they got to move their people that are running the Mii stuff over to the Switch stuff. Maybe?
Yeah, but they don't have a Miiverse. It's just Twitter now. That's there. It's like Twitter or Facebook or whatever.
But I mean the actual network.
Yeah. Oh yeah, to the to whatever we'll get charged for, like that type of thing. But yeah, Miiverse, what a sad thing to go. It's weird that because the 3DS is still alive and well, and that has Miiverse on it, but they still are going to cancel it on that.
That is really strange
that's what doesn't make any sense.
Because they're still pushing people to buy new 3DSs, like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're pushing the 2DS XLs like crazy. I was working at a bar earlier, and I probably saw I had the TVs on, and I probably saw 5 commercials for Metroid: Samus Returns, which comes out next week, by the way. Yay, next Friday. Damn. I haven't decided how I'm going to get it yet. I thought about maybe getting a physical copy for the soundtrack, and so Jess and I could share the game because I didn't know if she was going to get it or not. But at the same time, I kind of just want to. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like if I want the digital, or if I want to try to get the soundtrack with it, like the deluxe edition or whatever it is. So I haven't decided on how I'm going to get it, but I'm definitely getting it. And if I get, Riot Fest is next week also, so.
Oh shit.
It's basically going to come out on Friday, so if I get it digitally, I can play it Thursday night at 11, because I'm not going to have time to play it at all over the weekend because of Riot Fest. So for those of you at home, Riot Fest is like a 3-day punk rock fest in Chicago.
You can bring your 3DS with you.
I could. I normally do, and I used to get a lot more street passes there. You don't get. I didn't get as much. I actually took it last year, I think, and I got a lot less than I did. Like the first year that I went outside, I got hundreds of street passes from everybody had one, and then I feel like every year I take it, the street passes have been getting less and less. So I could take it, but I won't have any time to play it at all. Yeah. I would just take it just to get street passes. That's what I did before, but they seem to have diminished a lot over the years. They're pretty funny because they're all people being yay, Fall Out Boy, or some other crap band that's playing there.
Yeah, like Danzig or something.
They're not crap.
Hey.
They are playing again though, so. It'll be pretty rad. Maybe Glenn will bring his 3DS and we can Street Pass.
Mother 3.
Yeah. That's what he's going to announce. He's going to be like, Mother 3 comes out tomorrow.
Thanks, Danzig.
That would be great. That's his favorite game, is Mother 3. But speaking of game announcements, do you want to jump right into that Nindies thing?
Yeah, let's talk about the Indies.
Or do you want to talk about no, let's just do the Nindies. So yeah, well, after we took our break, of course, Curse of the Podcast, there's a Nintendo Direct. What was it, 20 minutes? It was probably around 20 minutes, right? The Direct was?
Yeah, it was right around 20 minutes.
Yeah. It starts off with Super Meat Boy Forever, which is that a full-on sequel to Super Meat Boy? Is that just a deluxe version?
I think it's a full-on sequel because it introduces the new character.
The baby, yeah.
The baby. So it's like Pac-Man Jr. or Baby Pac-Man or whatever.
Yeah, like the baby from Mother M. Yeah. I don't know. I got Super Meat Boy for Wii U, but I didn't play it a whole lot because it's pretty hard. But I don't know. I might get into it again if it's a brand new game. I don't want to buy the whole thing again. But most of the Nindies on there look pretty promising. I think there's only one game that I probably won't play. That's probably that Bridge Builder game I thought looked kind of lame, but
which I actually thought looked pretty cool.
Oh yeah? It just looked it reminded me of those old 90s educational PC games where you can
that's pretty much what it is.
Where you can move you can pilot a submarine and you just look at dials and it looks incredibly boring, but people who are into war history and all that shit love it. That's basically what it reminded me of.
What's really cool about that Bridge game, I've seen people make posts about it online when it's on PC. It's like a creation game with with highly realistic physics. So
oh yeah,
you create a structure and then it's got real life physics or extremely realistic physics applied to it. So you get to actually see like the effect of things crossing your structure and if it's going to survive. So it's like, all the...
Is it like
which I wasn't in the class, but it was like in a
shop
physics
class, right?
when people would build the bridges back in school.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Would.
It reminds me of shop class. When I was in shop class in junior high, I had to build a bridge, and they would attach weights to it and see how much it would, see when it would broke.
As far as I know, that's what this game is. It's like an expanded version of that.
Is it like a SimCity type thing, sort of? That's kind of what it sounded like when you were saying that. Like you build a bridge and like, I don't know, like some cars drive over it and you see whether it breaks or not.
I think so.
Like you build a city and then you get bored and hit the earthquake button or something. I don't know. I still haven't played my SimCity game. I wanted to do it as a capture, like as like another, weird sort of spin-off thing. Cause isn't Mario like kind of in there for a second? Or is he not in the SimCity Super Nintendo game?
I don't remember, but I do know that the, Professor guy was in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I thought that maybe there was a reference to Mario in there somewhere. I was going to do it like as something to do with Mario plus Rabbids, but I didn't get to it.
Yeah, I captured a little bit of SimCity and was kind of feeling the same way about it. Like, what do I do?
Yeah, like where to
all I could really do would just do build. I built my city and I spent about 10 minutes on it, and I was like, I don't want to do all this.
Yeah.
Because I was just getting to the point where it's like, build a stadium, build this, that, the other. I'm like, all right, I actually don't want to play this anymore.
You don't want to build a stadium?
But eventually you build multiple stadiums, and I think you build like arenas.
Yeah, you can build like all the roller coasters in the world. Oh no, that's Roller Coaster Tycoon. But that Bridge Tycoon game, they might as well call it that. I don't know. I wasn't all that excited about it. I mean, maybe if it's like $2 and I can build bridges and it's fun, then maybe. I don't know. But other than that, there's a lot of really cool stuff on there. You mentioned it earlier in our intro, but Golf Story, that game looks really cool.
It does. It looks like those Mario Golf games, the one on the Game Boy Advance especially.
Yeah, those were, the Game Boy Color too. They were both RPG.
Yeah.
Because you could level up and all that.
And I bought my Game Boy SP specifically I wanted it for other reasons, but I bought it, and my first new game I purchased was Mario Golf.
Mario Golf Advance, yeah.
Because I had just read how cool it was, and it was. I mean, I love that game.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
It's a great game. It holds up.
Oh, I played it a lot too. You can get it digitally on the Wii U.
You can.
You can get and I got I hadn't played the Mario Golf Game Boy Color one, but I got it for Virtual Console on 3DS, and it's really good. Like I played a lot of it.
Oh, it's on the 3DS?
Yeah, you can get the color one, the Game Boy Color one, which that one's really really
cool.
good. Yeah, they're both.
Was that made by Camelot also?
Yeah, they're both made by Camelot. They both have RPG elements. But I played a lot of the Game Boy Color one on 3DS. Like I liked it a lot. It was very enjoyable. I think I played like almost all the way to the end of the game, but I think I probably got stuck on the very last thing, as I normally do. But yeah, that game was really cool. And then they also did the tennis. There's tennis versions of it also that has which I didn't find that as fun, just because I think I like playing golf more than tennis. But
I don't know, the golf, the whole golf thing makes a little more sense because you're actually traveling on a big green field, and
yeah,
it seems like there's more stats you can upgrade and.
When you can,
but anyway, this game looks great. It's like, and it's got not just golf, but it's got disc golf and mini golf also.
Oh yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, and you don't versus like tennis. Tennis is just like one place. Like where golf, you actually travel, and there can be new courses and stuff that look different. Like tennis, it's just like, hey, you got clay now, cool. It bounces different. That's what you got, man. It's kind of, I mean, no offense to you tennis fans, but that's how I feel about tennis games. They're kind of boring. But one thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about stuff I bought Cloud Strife, the Amiibo.
Oh shit, you forgot to mention Cloud Strife.
Das Amiibo. I bought him when I bought the Mario plus Rabbids game, which I mentioned that I bought, of course. I tried to get one of those free hats, like one of the Mario Rabbids hats. They're basically these Mario hats with like rabbit ears coming out the top of them, like white rabbit ears. And I took it, like I was at Best Buy, and I grabbed the Rabbids game, I grabbed the Cloud Amiibo, and I grabbed the Rabbids hat, and I went to the guy and I was like, hey, can I get this free Rabbids hat? And he's like, no, you have to get you have to either get these Amiibo, they're not Amiibo, but you can get Rabbid toys, and they're like $40, you either have to buy one of those, or you have to buy another Switch game also to get a free hat. So I was like, I didn't want it, but it's funny that he like misinterpreted me, I guess, and he like got on his thing and he's like, bring down a Rabbid toy stat to, whatever, cash register 5, and I was like, no, man.
Rabbit toy and
yeah.
How much they're for?
I was like, no, man, I don't need the rabbit toy. It's fine. I'll just get the game. It's fine. I don't want to spend like $100 on this. So I stopped him, but it's pretty funny. He was like all adamant about it. Thought that because I was just trying to get a free hat. No free hat for me.
A Second Switch game. What Switch game could you have gotten? Is Lego Worlds out yet?
I think that comes out this week, which we'll talk about releases, of course, this week. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's not really any other games that I would want, I guess. I could get 1-2 Switch. I don't want that game, but I could.
Good.
What else would I get? I mean, I guess I could get Disgaea and then I have like the same 2 games. I mean, they're very similar. But I don't know. I also got Rygar for NES for $8, but my NES doesn't work now, so I can't play it. I can't even test it out, see if it works. So it sucks.
Sad, man.
Yeah, I thought about, I don't know, I didn't know what to do. I thought about getting a Retron, but I'm like, I don't want one of those. And NESs are expensive. I don't know. I'm kind of I'm undecided on how to approach it. I mean,
well, here's your 2 options. Either you buy a working NES and you spend $50 or $60 on it, or you get buy one of those HD ones and you can get those for like around $100.
Yeah, I thought those were like 2.
Well, there's
the
different
AVSs.
Different companies make them.
Yeah, I would want the AVS one that I played at the MGC.
Yeah.
The one that has like 4 controller ports, and I like that one.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, it's nice. But yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, but it died like while I was trying to play Metroid, trying to do a Metroid 1 capture thing, in celebration of Samus Returns coming out, so that sucked.
Oh, it died while you were playing it?
It died while I was playing it, yeah. Well,
How far into it were you?
I had just gotten the first energy tank. It wasn't really that far. But I was kind of like just going around trying to get my bearings, because I was going to do a playthrough and see if I could beat it in like an hour. And, yeah, the power light just went off, like while I was playing it, then it wouldn't power back on, so, yeah. And I tried resetting the power strip and unplugging it and replugging it and all that. And now I just have a really small, like when I push the button and you see the red blinks like really quickly for 1 second and then it's gone. So, I don't know.
Something's going on with power.
Yeah, it's probably the brick or the plug or I don't know. I guess I could try getting a different power thing or something. I don't know.
Use the Sega Genesis uses the same power brick as the NES.
Does it?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, well, cool. I can try. You can use that then.
Wait. Well, the model I have. You have Model 2, right?
Are you sure? Oh no, it's the AV plug that's really weird. Because there's that one that has like the million different plugs or the million different pins. It looks like an old like printer plug thing, If you had an old PC or like what you would plug your mouse in, it had like the cord that looked like the mouse. Yeah, so I'll have to try that. Next week I'll come back and tell you about how that's going. But let's keep talking about the Nindies list here. Out of all the games, like, what do you think was aside from like Golf Story, like what about that fucking weird one where you're like a giant dude where you can see your muscles and you shoot another dude and like your head shrinks or your head gets huge? Do you remember that one? It was so fucking weird. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's called.
I should have watched it again before this.
It's called Morphe's Law, and you're
yeah. So
you're like
instead of taking damage.
Yeah, like if you like shoot your head, like their head shrinks, but your head gets huge. It looks so weird, and you can become like a giant thing.
But that means you're easier to hit. Yeah,
it looks like a weird anime thing, but yeah, they look like they have no skin, and it's just like muscles, and they're like, I don't know, they look like these weird anime creatures, and it's like a third person online shooter thing, and whatever part you shoot, like, gets smaller, but the part of your body gets bigger. So if you shoot their arm, your arm gets bigger. Legs, whatever, your head can get huge. It just looks so bizarre, and you can make yourself like Godzilla sized, I guess, eventually. Seems like a really freaking weird game.
Yeah, but I look forward to it. It's just another take on first person shooters, which Nintendo's all about. I don't think it's a first party game, but it's a Switch exclusive, at least.
Yeah, well they were like, here's a game that nobody, that people play, that blah blah blah.
Or it'll be fucking amazing and a game changer, like Splatoon was.
Yeah.
Even though it's a third, but it's got a freaking weird thing going on in it. And we all love that game. What about, I thought Kentucky Route Zero was compelling.
Yeah, what's up with that? That's already a PC game, right? And this is just the final. Well, from what I understood, it's like the final episode of this is coming out around the time of the Switch one, because it's called like, what is it called? I wrote it down. It had a weird name. Yeah, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition is what it's called. And I guess it's like an episodic thing, and the release of this is going to coincide with the final episode release, is what I understood from this. It looks super pretty. I have no idea what's going on in it, but looks like it's maybe like a story, like a adventure like point and click thing.
Yeah, and of all the places for it to take place, like the state of Kentucky in the United States, that's really cool. I don't know if you ever played, I talked about it a little bit on here, but it's a game called Firewatch.
Oh, yeah. No, I think I watched you play it.
And,
was that the one with the kid? That's the one with the kid, right?
No, you're an adult, and you're out like being a ranger, and basically you're just going to be living in isolation for like 6 months, and you're observing the landscape to make sure like there's no forest fires. And if you see a fire, you call like someone to come and take care of it. But it's actually like it's a first person adventure more than a first person shooter, but it's got that overlay to make it like a creative.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, needless to say, that was another example of a weird like setting for a game that ended up working out really cool. So I'm interested in seeing what Kentucky Route Zero is all about. And I haven't been to Kentucky, for like 10 years.
Kentucky's a cool place.
But it's a beautiful state, yeah. Parts of it that I've seen.
Did you ever play that weird cell phone game? It's called like #Sorcery or something like that. Super Brothers. It reminds me of that art style, like the way that Kentucky. It's like super pixely, and it's like, and the characters, like you can't see a whole lot of detail. It looks like 8-bit, but like with a little bit better, like somewhere between like 8-bit and 16-bit. From what I saw of the Kentucky whatever TV edition, it kind of looked like that. Like the art style looked like it. So it reminded me of that game. I don't know if it's the same guys doing it, but it'd be cool if it was, because that was like considered like the best iPhone game at one point. There's a new Shovel Knight edition on there, the King Knight, and it also comes with there's 3 new Amiibo announced as well with that. Did you see that 3-pack?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there's like there's the Knight, there's the King Knight, and it's basically the last 3 like Shovel Knight updates that they had. So there's like Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, and King Knight, and it's like a 3-pack. It's got a pretty funny commercial with this guy. He's just like in love with the Amiibo and how great they look and all that. You can find it on the Nintendo YouTube channel. But yeah, that got kind of announced after the Nindies. Pretty cool though. I was psyched about it. What else was in there? So we talked about Poly Bridge. What about that breakdance game? What do you think about that?
You're talking about Floor Kids?
Yeah. What do you think that is? Like a Tony Hawk style game where you do like combos and stuff like while you're dancing?
That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like it's a music game /
Yeah,
it's a music combo game.
Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, some of these were like shown so quickly that it was like, here it is, and here's the next thing. You don't really know what's going on.
Oh, absolutely, they rushed through this. Like, they finally gave a release date for SteamWorld Dig 2.
Yeah, well, the way they were talking about it, I thought it was going to be like, oh yeah, it's out today, but no, it's like, what is it like next? It's in September, right? It's pretty close. I thought it was like last week or next week or the week after. I want to say the 21st, but I may be wrong.
Oh, for SteamWorld Dig 2?
Yeah.
September 21st.
Oh, I'm right? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
There was, what was it? One of them was Wolverblade. It's basically kind of like a Golden Axe, I guess. It's like a beat 'em up, but you have like swords and stuff. Kind of reminded me of the Sega Golden Axe game. That was on there. There was, SteamWorld Dig 2. There's an Adult Swim game called Battle Chef Brigade. That was one that I, didn't think.
It's like a puzzle game, right? It's a puzzle game.
Battle Chef Brigade?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a 2D fighting sort of game.
I thought it was a match 3.
Battle Chef Brigade. Mixing together totally different gameplay style results in a game which offers variety and plenty of entertainment despite the odds. That seemed to be the case with Battle Chef Brigade. It's part side-scrolling combat action, part match 3 puzzling, and part graphic adventure, and showcases a sumptuous anime-style aesthetic which makes it look like a cartoon rather than a game. The objective is to venture out into the world and slay beasts in order to pocket ingredients before returning to the kitchen to create some mouth-watering dishes using the match 3 puzzle mechanics. It sounds crazy. I don't know, just that it's an Adult Swim game kind of made me think like, because they make I feel like they made kind of like a lot of shovelware, mobile games. So I wasn't really, maybe they'll prove me wrong. Hopefully they will. But it felt like it'd be like a kind of a shovelware type thing. Just because
what about that one weird-ass game, man? Oh, keep going.
Oh, no, I was just saying just because all that I've seen of their stuff is kind of shovelly. But which weird-ass game?
Mom Hid My Game.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that one.
It's fucking weird looking, man.
Yeah,
they're like making it look like it's this like really deep, incredible game, and it just like.
And you just find
it
stuff.
Looks like you just search for your game.
Well, do you remember that there was a WarioWare game. Do you remember the WarioWare game where it's like find the nest egg? And you just look through your drawers in your house pretty much to try to find your money that you saved, and it kind of reminds me of that game, you know. And it
made me think of the one where your mom looks in on you and you got to like hide your game when she looks in the bedroom. Was that a WarioWare too?
Yeah, that was the Wii U WarioWare game. That was probably the only game that was good on the Game & Wario game. But
that was on Game & Wario. Yeah, where like your mom would look in and you'd have to hide your 3DS or whatever. I don't know what you was.
No, it was the Wii U remote. It's basically what you would play on the Wii U remote, and then you'd look at the TV at the same time to see if your mom was coming into the room. And whenever she came in, you'd flip it down, and the gyroscope would notice that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the way it worked. But it's kind of like that. But yeah, it's based, and the WarioWare Smooth Moves was the one that had that nest egg thing. But yeah, you basically just point the remote and you were like, oh, there it is. But yeah, I completely forgot about that weird game. There were a lot of strange games on there, but that's probably like the weirdest. It's like, it'd be like a hide and seek. What do you just like tap on the screen until you're like, oh, there's my 3DS. It was in the toilet. Why'd you put it there?
I don't know. I guess it's already out.
In Japan?
It's made by Kimco?
Mom Hid My Game is already out.
Didn't they make Dejavu?
Oh, did they? I don't know. You're the Dejavu expert.
No, I was saying it was already out for like mobile devices. Sorry, it's not out yet for
the Switch.
Switch, there you
go. For that system that I can't remember. Oh yeah. What do you think? I guess we can just jump to it. What do you think about Travis Strikes Again? That was like the final big huzzah of the presentation. Now I have a theory. I think that did you ever play? Well, you didn't play any of the No More Heroes, did you?
I played all the way through No More Heroes 2.
Oh, okay. You know, like how there were like those 8-bit like jobs that you could do where you'd make money, where you could like throw the trash out in space, and there was like another, all those side games that you earn money playing. I think that's what this game is. It's like a bunch of those games. Because if you watch the trailer, he fights this guy that's like mad at him for whatever reason because he killed like his daughter or something like that. And they fight each other and they get sucked into this console, like in that scene. And actually the one guy was playing Hotline Miami also, which is crazy. And they're involved in it, and the Shovel Knight guys are involved in it. So I think it's a bunch of like, like small indie games with Travis in them. So they're going to kind of like feel like those 2D, the 8-bit games that you played in No More Heroes 2. That's my opinion about it. Because it's definitely not a full-on No More Heroes 3. Because they even said, because Grasshopper said that if this game sells well, then they'll think about making a No More Heroes 3.
Capcom was like, buy Street Fighter 2 Ultra or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and then we'll put more money into it. But that's my opinion on it. Hopefully, we'll see later when it comes out, but I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a bunch of like little mini games based around indie games that are already out, is what I think. But it's going to be like, they're going to be like 2D and like 16-bit, 8-bit, that type of thing. That's what I think. And that cutscene is like all you're going to see of that. Maybe you'll see that at the beginning and the end, like that style, like with the animation, but it won't be, the game won't be like that. So maybe that was that weird thing that they were talking about at the show. When they first unveiled the Switch and he was like, yeah! And he's talking about, Travis touchdown and wrestling moves and all that, and nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's my theory. I'm definitely interested in that one. What about the elephant game?
Well, I wanted to say, because it was driving me crazy, I looked it up, and Dejavu was in fact developed by Kimco, or it was converted for the NES by Kimco. So who's doing
there you go.
My game?
Yeah, you were right. I mean, you are the Vu expert.
But yeah, the elephant game you're talking about, motherfucking
Yono and the something.
The Celestial Elephant.
Yono and the Celestial Elephants. Yeah, Jess was super excited about that one. She thought that elephant was super adorable. She wanted to play it.
It does look adorable.
I mean, Yono is super adorable. There was Earth Atlantis. That was like a shoot 'em up type game that's all like hand drawn. Looks super beautiful. Looks super pretty. It's like a submarine. Do you remember that one? It's like white. It's like a cream colored paper with like a gray. It's like gray lead writing on it. It looks like it's drawn. It looks really pretty. I found a list. Oh, there it is. It was Tech Radar. It's like 12 trailers you need to watch. Like it talks about 12 of the games from that. But that's not all of them even.
Yeah, that game's not listed on this list that I have.
Because even looking at all this list, I didn't see the Mom Took My Game game on there.
What about Malacca?
Yeah, what is Malacca? I don't think they really explained a whole lot of that.
It's like looks like a kind of a hack and slash looking game.
I thought it was more. I thought it was more exploration.
Hold on, let me look.
Let's see. Malacca is an impressive-looking 3D adventure title that sees you exploring the landscapes of northern Mexico. It's based on the history of the indigenous culture of the Tarahumara, who successfully...
It looks a little bit like maybe like Windmaker a bit, I guess.
Evaded Spanish conquerors in the 16th century. Yeah, I just remember a whole lot of, like, walking in it, so I don't know.
Very stylized. Yeah, it looks kind of like you have, like, a stick weapon, and you get bad guys with that.
Yeah, it's, like, stylized and low poly and all that.
You can turn into a bear.
I mean, you gotta turn into a bear. Like, what's a game without a bear?
It looks like some of the bosses you fight are pretty big. Oh, you can turn into a hawk, too. That's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, you can, like, sort of fly around kind of like Wind Waker-ish, right? That's what you said, that it reminded you of that?
Yeah, it looks like you can change into different animals and solve puzzles and fight big bosses.
You can put a pear on your head with a face on it and turn into a seagull, fly around and hit switches. You can do some of that weird shit.
A lot of these games were coming out in 2018.
Yeah, when is the soonest one is probably the Steam Will Dig, right?
Which is, this month.
Yeah. Like
2 weeks from today, actually.
Dimension Drive, that was another shoot 'em up. Away Journey to the Unexpected. That looked like sort of an adventure type thing. When is, you don't know when King Knight is coming out, do you?
I don't think they said.
Yeah. Well, do you want to...
It says 2018.
Yeah. Is there anything you missed? I'm sure there's something that I'm going to think of later and be like, why
didn't I
talk about that?
There's more games. Dragon Mark of Death.
Yeah. Wasn't there like a turn-based RPG thing in there too?
Are you talking about Light Fingers? No, Light Fingers is like
Which one was Light Fingers? I remember that name.
Yeah, that one's like, it looks almost like it's supposed to be a take on Dungeons and Dragons, but making it into like...
Oh, yeah, no, that's the one that's like, is that the one that's like Gauntlet, but you can shoot stuff? There's one that's like a multiplayer game that's like Gauntlet Legends, which I totally want to check out.
This might be it, but you can change using cards and different things, you can change the actual game board as the other characters are playing. It looks really interesting. It looks kind of like, Dungeons and Dragons, for sure. You like rolling dice and moving around.
Oh, that might not be it then. The one that I saw was like, it's like you have 4 characters and they all have guns and they shoot stuff. And it's kind of, it looks a lot like Gauntlet Legends to me. Like the 3D, the 3D version of Gauntlet later came out.
Oh, no, not Dragon Mark for Death. Dragon Mark for Death, it's side-scrolling 4-player, but it's not like Gauntlet. But it is an action RPG, and it's a class-based game. This is probably not the one you're talking about, because it's a side-scroller.
Yeah.
But Dragon Mark for Death, it looks really cool. It looks very like PlayStation 1.
Yeah. Low poly?
Not low poly, it's like those really nice hand-drawn sprites. But it looks kind of like it's got an aesthetic like Symphony of the Night.
Mm-hmm. 9 Parchments is what it's called. That's the Gauntlet Legends game. It's like a co-op adventure game. It looks cool. It's a game I want to play.
There's Next Up Hero, which is like every time you die, or no, it's a multiplayer game, but when you die, you become like a supporting character for someone else because your like ghost helps them out.
Oh.
It's called Next Up Hero.
Haven't heard of that one. I was trying to look on the shop to see if any of these were on like the coming soon stuff, but all I see a bunch of stuff on there.
Most of these games are coming out in 2018. They're saying 2018.
Oh yeah, sure. There's a Twins.
Next Up Hero does look kind of like Gauntlet.
Yeah, it's like Nero Voider. That Double Dragon 4 is coming out, which apparently wasn't good, but you can get it.
Which one?
Double Dragon 4. It comes out tomorrow. The Arc System one. It's like a sequel to the old. It wasn't reviewed very well, but it's only $7. It might be worth checking out for that. I mean, it's pretty cheap.
So that's the Nintendo Switch games coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just looking at stuff on the site right now, or on the like Light Sphere Double Spear Edition that comes out, or Light Spear Double Spear Edition. An action arcade light spear throwing simulator based in an ancient Germanic future. Exclusive Nintendo Switch co-op for 2 players included. That game looks weird too. It has a cool art style though. The Bridge comes out. MC Escher meets Isaac Newton. Bridge is a logic puzzle that forces you to reevaluate your preconceptions of physics and perspective. Manipulate gravity to redefine the ceiling as the floor while venturing through impossible architectures. Yeah. It's a lot of rotating of shit, I guess. I know Monster Hunter Stories comes out tomorrow too, I think. Either comes out tomorrow or Friday, but it does come out this week for 3DS. So that's cool. That's a game worth playing. And there's let me look at what the SNK game is of the week. Lego Worlds. Lego Worlds is already out. That came out this week.
Thought it was out.
RBI Baseball. It's another baseball game. I don't know much about it though. That came out. this week as well. But yeah, it's The Bridge, Double Dragon 4, Light Spear, Near Avoider, Physical Contact 2048 are all coming out tomorrow. They all sound indie-ish. And the Neo Geo SNK game is Blues Journey. Have you played that?
No.
Let's take a look at what it is.
Is it like Blues Clues?
Yeah, it's blue. You know, you go and you try to figure stuff out. Oh, wow, it's not what I thought it was at all. It looks super colorful.
Oh, cool. It's a side-scrolling platformer.
Did you find it? Yeah. That might be worth checking out.
Yeah, it looks really pretty.
Did you ever make it through Magician Lord?
No, I'm stuck on the mime.
There's a mime?
Yeah.
That's great. I always wanted to destroy mimes in a game.
No, a mine, M-I-N-E.
Oh, I was hoping it was a giant mime that you had to fight. It's like, man, I hate
those
things.
Did you ever beat Hydra City on Sonic?
No, I didn't. I honestly haven't played Sonic for a while. Did you make it through?
Finally beat Hydra City a couple days ago, and then I've gotten a few levels past that. I think I'm on World 9 out of 12. I think there's 12 total.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm making progress. Hopefully going to unlock some shit.
Yeah, you're progressing better than I am. I have been distracted by other games, and I really hated Hydro City, so I haven't come back to it.
I've been playing when I play my Switch. That's what I've been playing.
Oh, okay.
Sonic.
Yeah,
and then I play other games on other systems.
I've been only playing Mario plus Rabbids and Forma 8, but now I can't play Forma 8 anymore. Is there any like other news aside from the Nindies Direct that you want to talk about? I know that, this is like really old news because we haven't talked in a while. I know that Super Mario Odyssey doesn't have a hub world. That was a news thing that I don't think we ever talked about.
Oh, it doesn't have a hub world?
No, there's not a hub world.
I thought there was a hub world.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't know that. That's sad.
Koizumi said, Mario flies between the kingdoms in his ship called the Odyssey. You can choose a location on the globe, and you can travel there directly. So in this game, there's actually no central hub world, like, for example, Peach's Castle in Super Mario 64 or Delfino Plaza in Super Mario Sunshine. That is his quote.
Well, that's specifically what I was hoping for. But.
Yeah. It's basically, it's going to be like Super Mario Galaxy, where you just like point at a thing and go there. Because Super Mario Galaxy also had a ship that took you, well, Super Mario Galaxy 2 did. The first one did have a hub world. But that ended up being like kind of more confusing than actually good. So maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I'm not really upset about it. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is like one of my favorite games. So, and that one doesn't have a hub world, and it didn't really in fact affect my enjoyment of it. So I'm still excited.
It's just more of a nostalgia thing for me. I'm sure it's not necessary. It just sounded cool to have, like, basically the hub world's just one of the levels. Yeah.
And it would be like, how would you connect New Donk City with, like, Desert Land or whatever, whatever it is, You
get on a train, you travel to Desert Land.
Well, it's the same thing as, like, pointing your ship at it, I guess, and then getting on a train. I don't know.
Well, especially Super Mario Galaxy 2, you had the ship that was shaped like Mario's head or whatever.
Yeah, you did. And you moved around the map.
That's pretty much what the Odyssey is, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same thing, which it's fine. I'm not, like, not getting it now. I'm not going to not get it.
I'm not getting it.
I already took off the day so I can watch, Jess took off work and I wrote down to take off work at the bar too so I could play Mario Odyssey and watch Stranger Things too, so.
Smart.
Got that going. Oh, and also Mario's no longer a plumber.
I did see that.
There's some news that's not really news, but people talk about it. And did you see that some games are going to have to install into your memory card? That's another Switch thing. Apparently, I think it's the NBA 2K18 is doing that, where it has to, you have to have a certain amount of space. And I think it might be more than 30 gigs, because they say you have to have a micro SD card to use it. So, but they said that it sounds like it's going to be kind of like Perfect Dark, where you can play like part of the game, but you don't get all of the parts. You know what I mean? Unless you have the card. So if you get the game, you can still play it, but you don't get the full experience unless you get an SD card to install it into. Which is kind of annoying, but it's what it is. There's a new Worms game coming out for the Switch. Do you remember that game?
That's pretty cool.
That was a college pastime game there.
I think it's a great platform for Worms. Worms is good on a lot of platforms, but
I like Worms. Worms is a fun game.
I could see that game being a ton of fun, like sitting in a room with all your friends with everyone have their own Switch console and just kind of like laying back and relaxing, playing some Worms.
Yeah, Worms is a cool game. Justin never played it before, so it'd be fun to play it with her.
It's Worms WMD, right?
Yeah. Are they doctors? Is that what that means?
Just for the web.
Yeah. So
it means weapons of mass destruction.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course. So in sad news, Square Enix said that Final Fantasy 15 cannot run on the Switch.
Yeah, the engine will not run on the hardware.
Well, they said that it sounded like they were kind of like it would leave a lot to be desired. Yeah, it says it couldn't bring out the most of the engine, is what they said. So we're probably going to get that really weird-looking chibi version, which is weird, but I don't know, for the Switch. You know, the mobile version, where they're all like...
Yeah.
Where they all look like chibi characters.
Oh, yeah, did you see online that Metal Jesus Rocks YouTuber guy, he was one of the people I saw that had the GameCube HDMI adapter, and it broke his GameCube.
Really?
Yeah.
What did it break?
What it did was you short something out. So he was had a bunch of friends over and they were playing GameCube, and one of the friends antagonized another friend, and that friend jumped over to attack him,
Yeah.
in real life, playfully. They were drinking and stuff. And she pulled the cord of the GameCube controller and caused the GameCube to kind of fall a little bit, and it made the adapter plugged in the back shorted out and caused fried the whole GameCube.
Oh jeez. That's terrible.
So his GameCube's dead and the adapter's broken.
Oh
so
no.
So the guy's replacing it all for him because he's got to, because he's a YouTuber. But
he's gonna give him a new GameCube.
I might not ever fucking buy that thing because the guy's going back to the drawing board and making a new model that doesn't
fry your GameCube.
Well, because what happens is if it moves at all, it can short circuit the pins, so it's got to remain completely stationary, which would be fine in my situation. But if my cat were to jump on it and knock the adapter in a weird way, kill my GameCube, that would fucking suck.
Yeah, and your cats do that. They like to jump on shit.
Oh yeah, they do.
They would destroy your GameCube. That's wow. Yeah, I would not want my GameCube to get fried, especially because my Game Boy player would probably get fried too, and then I have to get another one for $100, and I don't want to do that.
I don't think I'm going to buy that thing, which is sad because I was really excited about it. But
you can wait till Mach 2 or whatever it is, the 2.0, 2.1, 2.12, whatever the new one is.
Well, whichever version I end up getting is going to be, if I do buy it, it's going to be the new version. He's not going to sell the old version anymore because it kills your GameCube.
Yeah, well, you pissed off the internet people. Well, it's and everybody's going to know about it now.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's crazy. Well, we'll let people know more stuff that happens. Anyway, do you want to take a break and get to some Rabbids?
Sounds good, man.
All right, cool. Be right back. For the topic of the week, let's talk about this new crazy game that came out, which we haven't got to say anything yet because we took a break last week. But how do you feel? What do you think about Mario plus Rabbids? You haven't gotten it, have you?
I haven't, but the more I hear about it, the more I want to play it because I'm really only hearing good things.
Yeah, no, I really like it a lot. I think it's a good game. It's, I played a little bit of Disgaea just to kind of have a reference because I know they're kind of set up the same way. But Mario plus Rabbids is kind of like a Disgaea Lite, which I like.
That's what
it's kind of a little bit easier. It's like an easier entry point, I guess, but the game in no way is easy. That's for sure. I'm almost through the second set of levels. This is about where I'm at. And when you go from the first set of levels to the second set of levels, it ramps up a lot. The difficulty ramps up. But once you beat, and everything's divided like it would, a Mario game. There's 1-1, 1-2, so on and so forth. And eventually you get to a boss, and then you go, you'll basically play through all of these different levels, and once you beat the boss, there's a hub world that you go to where you can go back to any of those levels and replay them again. So you get graded, and you get graded for every level that you play. So if you go back and you get gold on all of them, you can unlock bonus stages and stuff like that, which I haven't done yet on the first one, but I did go back and play a lot of them. But going back and playing them is basically like grinding. You don't necessarily level up. You earn more money, and you get orbs that you use like on a skill tree to like unlock different abilities for each of your characters. So, and you take the money and you can buy new weapons, of course, with that, like with higher weapons. There's Amiibo in it. I scanned all the Amiibo for it. Like it's basically Yoshi, Peach, Mario, and Luigi. You can scan all of them, and they all get you extra weapons for it.
So you could scan a Woolly World Amiibo?
I think you can.
Yarn Yoshi?
You can scan your pink Yoshi if you want. So there you go. But it was one of those things. Honestly, like I got it. Like we had I got it Tuesday, and Jess and we'd been driving like all day. We've been driving for like 5 hours, and I was super tired. And like she passed out, and I really wanted to play the game some more. So I started playing it, and I fell asleep like playing it, like on the couch. And then I played it a little bit more, and I kind of like really hated it at first because I was like so tired, and it was so weird, I guess, and I just couldn't get into it
when I was focus.
When I was trying to play it like really tired, and then the next day I started playing it for a while, and then I started to figure it out, and I was like, okay, I get it now. Like, no, it is good. It took me a minute to understand the way the mechanics work, because it isn't as simple, I guess, as like Fire Emblem. It's like I would say it's a little more complex than that, but it took me a minute to figure it out. But once I figured it out, I was like, okay, this makes sense. It's a cool game. And I think there's 8 characters that you can unlock in the game, and I have 4 of them now. So that was the last thing I got was I unlocked a new character, which I won't say who it was for like spoilers, I guess. But the one thing that sucks about it is
you can't tell me whether or not you got the selfie lady yet?
Oh no, you get her real early. You mean Rabbid Peach? She's like I think she's the very first character you get.
Good.
So you get her right from the start. No, yeah, your first people are Mario, Rabbid Peach, and Rabbid Luigi are the first guys that you get. But the team that I've been using is regular Mario, regular Luigi, and Rabbid Peach. That's been my team. And I don't have I've found regular Peach, but she wasn't abducted or anything, and she's not in my party. She's just hanging out in front of her castle. You can just go talk to her. But I know she's a playable
character yet.
I know she is a playable character, but but she hasn't. She doesn't seem like she wants to fight with the team yet. The one thing that does suck about it that I'm kind of bummed is you basically have to have one Rabbid in your party at all times, so you can't just make an all Mario party and not have a Rabbid in there. So that sucks. You also have to have Mario in your party at all times as well, so you can't make an all Rabbid party on the other way around. So that's kind of annoying, I guess. But all in all, I think it works really well, and it feels a lot like XCOM, but I like XCOM. But what I like about it is that it's on the lighter side of it. There's no like permadeath, Your guys die, but then they come back in the next one. So you can't like really screw yourself like I would do in XCOM. Where you get to a point and you can't go any farther, and if you don't have any saves before that, like far enough back, you have to start the whole game over again. That's what happened to me in XCOM 1. I basically kind of got to the point where I screwed myself and I had to start the whole game over. So I kind of like that you don't have to do that in this game. I like that it's a little bit of the lighter side. But it definitely feels like a Mario game. I mean, I'd say that, a lot of people don't like the Rabbids, but they're not really in your face, I don't think. I mean, they're pretty much, they're the bad guys. You get to kill them. So if you don't like them, you get to shoot them.
Some of them are good.
Yeah, well, some of them are good. And I do find it weird, the whole Mario with guns thing is pretty strange to me. It's very much like, like Sonic, like Shadow the Hedgehog. Like that's sort of weird, where it's like, it's not bad like that, but like Luigi has a sniper rifle. Like he's a sniper. He basically has a sniper rifle that looks like the Poltergust. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of weird to be like, oh yeah, Luigi has a gun and he's just shooting people.
We always knew Luigi could shoot further because he can jump further.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense for his character because he's basically kind of, he's a fraidy cat. So he's the one who hangs back and shoots, and takes aim and shoots at people from way far away. He doesn't have to really confront them.
Yeah. What about when everybody got guns in Donkey Kong 64? That was kind of weird too.
Oh yeah, they did. But Diddy's guns, they stuck with him. They showed up in Smash Brothers and all that, so he gets to keep them.
They were in Donkey Kong Country Returns too, right?
Oh yeah. If you played the 2-player, you could shoot the guns while you're on him. You have to kind of just like embrace it and be okay with some toilet humor and the weirdness of it. Is
there an actual story to it, or?
Oh yeah, no. The presentation is great. Like it starts off with a really good looking cutscene. There's basically this scientist girl created this thing called the Merger, and it looks like a VR headset, and she basically puts it on her face. And every time she looks at anything, any two things, they merge together. Is basically what happens. So she stares at Rabbids invade her room, I think, and somehow they get merged with the Mario world, and that's what happens there, and that's how they come together. So there's basically, it's mostly Mario, but there's a little bits of Rabbids. So like, there's a part that I'm at where like, you see like a Bob-omb, and he has like underwear wrapped over his face, and that's like the Rabbid part, I guess. Or there'll be like piranha plants that have like lampshades on their face. And that's, like all the weird stuff is the Rabbid stuff. So that's kind of...
take something weird to make it even weirder, pretty much.
Pretty much. But there's a particular rabbit that has the merger that you're wearing, and that's kind of the one that you're chasing. And eventually, like, Baby Bowser gets a hold of him. And you have this little Roomba-looking thing. It basically looks like one of those things that cleans the floor. It looks like one of those, and it has 2 rabbit ears. And that's the thing that you're actually controlling. It's not Mario. So that part's kind of weird, too. Like when you're moving, because, part of the game is like exploration, sort of. But you're just moving this Roomba thing around, and Mario and whoever's with them in the party is following that Roomba thing. So like, there's some sort of like puzzly stuff where like you'll have to collect coins, like blue coins or red coins or whatever, to unlock different treasures. You have to collect the coins with the Roomba, not with Mario. So that takes a little bit to get used to, I guess. You have to realize that you're not controlling Mario, you're controlling this little disc thing that everybody's following.
I do remember reading you would never directly control Mario. So even in battle, you're still just giving Mario commands. You're not directly controlling him.
Yeah, you're just pointing the Roomba to wherever he goes, and then he'll go there. Is basically the way it works. I mean, when you hit a button, he shoots stuff. You're sort of controlling him in that way, I guess. But no, he never really moves. But I was, I don't know, when I first started playing it, or before I got it, I watched like some YouTube videos, and it seemed like a lot of people were kind of divided on it. There was polarized views on it, so I was kind of a little worried, but I ended up coming out of it really enjoying it, so it's been fun.
To me, it's like a Hyrule Warriors kind of thing, like, I never really played that, but yeah.
No, it's a lot better than Hyrule Warriors.
Why the hell does this have to be a Mario game?
Yeah. I would rate it much higher than Hyrule Warriors for sure. I mean, but
you like Hyrule?
I do to a point, but it's also like still like those games, where it's like it's kind of the same thing. You go around and kill people and blah blah. But no, I do understand what you're getting at. It's definitely like a spin-off of Mario, and it's definitely something that Mario has never done before. So that's kind of weird. I'm wondering like who had the idea to make it like a turn-based strategy game. Like this seems kind of really out there.
It does.
But then weren't those guys the same guys who worked on the South Park game, right? The first one.
Oh, Stick of Truth.
Yeah. I thought they did. Remember
that was Ubisoft, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought because that's when we thought it was going to be like a turn-based RPG thing. But it's definitely, there's a lot of, there's a lot of cutscenes in there, there's a lot of story, and it's, I feel like it's pretty playable. It doesn't feel like super hardcore like Disgaea, which maybe, who knows, maybe I'll get Disgaea after I finish Rabbids. Maybe I'll be like so into it.
Well, not to mention we're playing Disgaea, 5?
Yeah.
It's like they've had a long time to iterate the game, whereas
this is
the first Mario Rabbids game.
Yeah. I feel like it's easier to get into, but it's definitely not easy by any chance. Like playing it gets very difficult. So, but it has, like I said, it has cool characters, there's a whole lot of enemy types that you keep unlocking. That's what I mentioned at the top of the show. My middle name was the noxious fireweed, which is like one of the Rabbid, I think the Rabbid plant. Like a piranha, but Rabbid. Basically like the piranha plant with a rabbit in his face. The Peach Rabbid and her constant picture taking is kind of silly. I mean, they're really laying it on hard that they're making fun of selfie people. There's a part in the game where she's getting like choked to death and she's taking a picture of herself while she's getting choked. So that's it's the obvious thing there is that selfie people are dumb. Which, I don't necessarily disagree with.
And the game's going to be very, very dated.
Yeah, that is true, I guess. Whenever we get to the time where we have, phones that we install on our eyes or something and we can't take selfies of ourselves, we'll be like,
we'll
man.
have drones that follow us, like personal drones that take all our pictures for us.
Yeah, so we don't. So it's so they call them dronies now instead of selfies. Your drone just takes a picture of you. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's definitely in the moment now, I guess. But I didn't see any like memes or anything like that. I always hate it when people include stuff like that in games. Like what you call it? The
Meme Runner.
Guacamelee. What was it? What did you say?
I said Meme Runner.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know Meme Runner. But
those out of the Wii U.
Did you play Guacamelee? I think you did because it came with the...
I played a little bit of the first part of it.
Yeah, that game is all memes. Like in the backgrounds is all memes and stuff, so it doesn't really age very well.
It's got like overly attached girlfriend in the back or something. Like the meme that everyone forgot about.
Oh, I don't remember that one. I know that like Grumpy Cat's in there, I think, and there's what's his face, Strong Bad's in there. There's a lot of like posters in the background that like are about memes and stuff, and I felt it was kind of like, don't do that. Why does it need to be?
Frogs in there.
Just like,
no, I don't think
there was stuff that, because by the time I played it, it had already been out for a while, and it was already dated. Like I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing a long time ago. That's not a thing anymore. So
you're like, no one cares about the leave Britney alone person anymore.
He might have been in there too. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was stuff that I was like, oh okay, yeah, that's not funny anymore. But yeah, I mean, is there anything you want me to tell you about it that you'd like to know?
I mean, is it worth $60? Like, do you feel like it's a $60 game, or does it feel like it should have been priced at like $40?
Oh no, it feels like a complete game for sure.
Yeah, $60.
Yeah, I mean, it's like.
You think it was worth paying the same amount you paid for Zelda or Splatoon 2?
Oh yeah, no, I think so. Something really interesting that I don't want to forget. The Grant Kirkhope did the soundtrack for it. He's the guy who did the soundtrack to GoldenEye and Banjo-Kazooie and cool. Donkey Kong 64, I think, as well. He was an old Rare guy, which is pretty rad.
Did he do the music for fucking...
Perfect Dark?
No, Ukulele.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who did the music for Ukulele, but I know that so the songs are super catchy. They actually kind of when you get to the boss levels in Mario plus Rabbids, they kind of sound a lot like Banjo-Kazooie, like sort of that like I know kind of that style, like the doom 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 doom, like that.
Did you say Grant Kirkhope?
Yeah, Grant Kirkhope.
Yeah, he did composition for Ukulele as well.
Oh, he did? And,
okay. As well as David Wise and Steve Burke, the other two guys.
Yeah, well, David Wise, he did all the Donkey Kong Country stuff. He also did the soundtrack for Snake Pass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that, all these Rare people spreading their resources everywhere.
Yeah, it's cool that they're still working, It must be interesting to be a game designer, or a game music designer, At least they're still, I mean, their games aren't, well, I guess Mario plus Rabbids is a pretty high caliber game. But like doing like Snake Pass, I mean, it's not like Donkey Kong Country or, it's not as big, I guess, as big budget. Is what I mean. I
totally forgot I bought Zombie U. That was the game I forgot to mention earlier.
Oh, you bought Zombu?
I still haven't played it. I forgot I bought it until just now.
Oh, I played Zombu. I actually like Zombu. I know it's not the name, but I'm gonna call it that anyway. No, it's okay. I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part. Once you get into like the Buckingham Palace, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but I also forgot I bought Banana Blitz on the Wii U.
Oh,
Super Monkey Ball.
Super Monkey Ball, yeah. Oh, you mean on the Wii?
Very lukewarm reviews.
You mean on the Wii? I thought Banana Blitz was a Wii launch game.
It is on the Wii. You're right.
Yeah, that game I liked. I bought that game and liked it a lot.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I'm buying physical games that I'm not playing. It's getting bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, that happens. I mean, it happened to me because my NES broke. So
whenever I go to Disc Replay, I want to buy 6 games because it's buy 5 get 1 free. So I feel like I have to buy 6 games every time I go. If I'm going to buy 1, I have to buy 6.
So now you end up with stacks. So you end up with stacks of games that you don't know what to do with.
I mean, my Sega collection has gotten pretty big, pretty quick.
Yeah, I got my Sega before you, but I think you've already gone way past me in the collection of games. I mean, the last game.
I've got about 20 games now.
Oh, geez, I think I only have like 5. The last game I got was Mean Bean Machine.
I got a lot of stinkers though.
Yeah,
like 2 Taz games and 2 Star Trek games.
Yeah, well, yeah, but those games were probably like $2.
They're super cheap. There's a Sonic game I want to buy. That's the basically Sega's answer to Mario Paint.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know there was a creative Sonic game. But
Sonic Paint.
I have a feeling the interface is going to suck because it doesn't have a mouse or anything. You just use the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting. But the presentation on the Mario plus Rabbids is like super good. Like it looks like a high budget game. Like it really does. Like the graphics look really, really nice. It reminds me a lot of like a Super Mario 3D World. Like that level of graphics, but in a turn-based game. And even a little bit of like Mario Kart level graphics, but in a turn-based. Like that's like the smoothness of like of the different levels that you like the clouds and whatnot. That's kind of what it reminds me of. And it looks really nice. I have run into a little bit of glitchy stuff somewhat. Sometimes the game kind of freezes for a second, like when you're trying to move your guy. Which wasn't something I noticed until I got the update for it, so maybe that's the update. Because I played it in handheld mode the whole time while I was away, and it didn't I didn't have any problems with it at all. And when I got back and I updated and started playing on the TV, it started to glitch out a little bit. So I don't know if if that has to do with just the update, but it's a shame. But it still works fine. It just kind of like pauses whenever you move your character or try to do a move. But you can do some really cool combos once you get to the point of where you can do, I forget what it's called in XCOM, but like when you basically make your guy on alert and he'll automatically attack the other guy whenever they move. Did you ever play XCOM at all?
No. My next door neighbor loves that game though.
Oh, okay. Well, you can do like a thing that's called like alert or like cover or something like that, where you basically set your character up where whenever one of the bad guys like moves, you can automatically shoot them. And you can do that, you can kind of do that whenever at whatever time you want. So like what I've gotten to the point where like I'll set up like Mario in one area and then I'll put that alert thing on. And then I'll set up Luigi in another area and I'll put his alert thing on too. And you have weapons that you can shoot them and it'll like knock them into the air, like they have like spring abilities or whatever. So then I'll shoot the guy with Mario and it'll shoot the guy into the air, and while he's in the air Mario will shoot him again, and then Luigi will shoot him a second time, and that'll just automatically kill him. So you can do like cool combos like that.
Oh, cool.
Which is pretty neat. And then of course you can do where you bounce off another guy. When you get to a point you can jump off one guy and land on the other guy as Mario and like do damage and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different options for it. So I recommend it. I think it's a great game. And if you decide to spend some money, yeah, you should check it out. I know it's pretty expensive for $60, but it was worth it for me. I don't think I'll finish it in the next week, but I was hoping to get it done before Samus because I'm pretty sure that all I'm going to do is play Metroid once that comes out next week.
Yeah, and that'll be fun, but I have a feeling that game's going to go by kind of quick.
Yeah, I have a feeling it probably will too. Well, because the Game Boy one wasn't that long, but I know they've added some stuff. I mean, there's a hard mode, which I probably won't play, but I might play it a little bit. I don't know.
I will be getting that game, I think. I think that I've been playing my 3DS a little bit more lately. I actually played all the way through Super Mario Land on it. It was way easier to play than it was on the Super Game Boy for some reason.
Oh, you played the Virtual Console version?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I played through all of it on there too. It's like I said, it's really not that hard. Maybe I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just I don't know.
It's possible there's some lag, or
yeah, there might be.
Maybe I just needed to play through it in a more relaxed fashion where I wasn't recording myself.
Oh yeah,
I had a really good time with it.
Yeah,
on that.
Yeah, sometimes it's a lot more fun to just do it, or a lot more relaxing to not record it, and just do it for sure. Well, is there anything else you want to say about Mario, or do you want to hear anything about Mario plus Rabbids or anything else? So I think we can.
You've given me your glowing recommendation, and I take it you're giving the listeners the same recommendation. So,
oh yeah, no, I totally. And it actually really surprised me because I was coming into it thinking that I wasn't going to like it. So it kind of became the opposite for me, because it wasn't like I didn't come into it being like, oh man, I'm going to love this game. I was kind of came into it where I'm like, I have no idea what this game is. I don't think I'm going to like it at all. I'm just going to buy it and play it because I feel like I need to understand any of it. And now I'm glad that I did. But yeah, I really came into it hating it. And that first day I did kind of hate it, like when I was half asleep trying to play through it. And I had really weird-ass dreams about it, too. But then once I played some later levels, and I figured out the way things work, I'm like, okay, I get it now. But it took me a minute, and I think that some of the people that have been down on the game, I think that's because they maybe didn't get it, or maybe they didn't give the time to try to figure it out, I guess. Because it does have a lot of weirdness from the beginning, but you gotta stick with it. You gotta play at least like through the halfway point of the first level set, and then you'll kind of understand what it's doing or what it's trying to do. And I think it works really well.
I guess I'm not gonna lie. I also was a little thrown off by the fact that there's a season pass, so that means there's gonna be a lot of DLC. And
yeah, I didn't
on one hand that's good, but on the other hand it's like, yeah, you're not getting the full experience with the $60 or whatever.
Oh yeah, honestly, I haven't even thought about the season pass. I mean, I didn't get it. I mean, I guess you get some extra weapons or something. Oh shit, I didn't even get, cause it comes with free DLC, like when you buy the game, and I haven't even done that yet. Cause like I said, I was playing it without internet for a while, so I didn't really think about it. But you can get like pixelated weapons and stuff that come with the game, which I haven't got on, to download yet. But yeah, no, I definitely like it. And, as we, next episode or the episode after, I'm sure I'll talk about more as far as I get through it. But I'm almost, I don't know how many levels there are, but I'm almost through 2 of them, and I'm still enjoying it. Even though it has, like I said, it's gotten a lot harder. So, but I like that you can go back and play the older levels whenever you want. So that's definitely cool once you unlock the hub world. But yeah, that's been our episode 86, catching up on all that stuff that we missed in like 2 weeks. So,
and I'm sure we forgot something. We had to have.
I'm sure you forgot something, but there was a lot of stuff to cover, like a lot of Nindies and like other, news that was in there and whatnot, but
we did talk about Resident Evil Revelations coming to the Switch, right? We already talked about that.
I mean, we mentioned that it was coming out like weeks ago.
Okay, yeah.
That's
something that's
it's gonna have like motion control in HD Rumble. We didn't talk about that. That was a new thing, but it has that. I want to get it just to play 2, even though I don't think 2 was reviewed all that well. But 1 is really good. I mentioned that I liked it. I just got stuck at the boss because I ran out of ammo. Because that's what I do with Resident Evil. Yay, it sucks. Hopefully I can do it better.
Part of the experience.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
I'm Jeremy McCaskey.
And, you can find us at NinteNDomainPodcast.com. You can download us from any sort of podcast selling app that you have. And if you like the show, get on iTunes and give us a rating. Give us some stars and tell us how you feel. And, of course, you can email us at NinteNDomainPodcast@gmail.com if you like and you want to let us know about, whether you hate Rabbids or whether you like Puzzled or something like that. You can email us and tell us about that. And, you can check out our stuff on YouTube also, YouTube/FingMater. We've both been doing a lot of capture stuff that you can watch on there. So, if you liked enjoying hearing us talk about shit while we're playing games, you can do that.
I'm about to complete this Dyno-Warz saga, the full playthrough on.
Yeah, you're at like number 4
episode
now.
4 is going to be the last episode.
Oh, okay, so you're almost there, and I got some interesting videos that'll be coming out this week too. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.